Hey guys, I'm back for another update. I know this one's going to be posted pretty late at night. I was doing some stuff today. I went fishing with my family. A lot of fun stuff. I know I have a life too. I have stuff to do, so I can't just focus all my attention on putting these updates and videos up. But I read some comments that people miss when I put gameplay in my videos. So even though my camera sucks and the game quality is terrible, I'm going to put some gameplay in anyway. I'm going to show you a theme that I made here for my PS3. This is a custom-made theme that I set up using Theme Creator on my PS3. If you guys would like a tutorial on how to make a theme like this or this exact theme, I can put it up, tutorial, put it up on YouTube for you guys. I might be able to send the file, the theme file to you people. So if anybody wants this theme for their PS3, send me a message on YouTube or something. I'll figure out if I can send the file to you. Tell me if it works or not. Anyway, let's get started here. Just some Infamous 2 gameplay, talking about some different ideas that I've had. So, some guy posted a lot of comments on my my videos, and he's been a really great commenter, and he said a lot of nice things. And I think he sent me a personal message. I can't find it. I'll put his name in an annotation on the screen so you guys can see and go to his channel. But I just want to say something directly to this guy for right now. I went in and tried to look at my personal messages. Could not find the message that you sent me. I know you said you wanted me to talk about your ideas in this video, but without that personal message, I don't really have any ideas that you posted in the comments. I went back and looked at all the videos that you commented on. I couldn't find much besides thank you, you know, tell other people my ideas, or this or that wouldn't work. He did mention something about having an opening cutscene with his ideas and my ideas for Infamous 3. But if you would like to explain some of your ideas more clearly, you can post a video response to this video. I'd be happy to watch it. Anyway, to the main point of this video. And it's going to be about something a little bit different today. Something that I kind of outlawed in my earlier videos. But basically what it is this update is going to be about how Festival of Blood could tie into the storyline of Infamous 3 and Infamous 2. Some guy sent me a message, a personal message on YouTube, explaining to me how Festival of Blood could have been Infamous 3. And I sort of tweaked his idea a little bit. I sent him a message and I said, well, you know what, that'd be kind of I got kind of my own idea from this. What if you treat Festival of Blood like a bridge over the gap between Infamous 1 or Infamous 2 and Infamous 3. What if you could do that? You could basically just make the game Festival of Blood. You can make that game be sort of like how the comic books acted in between Infamous 1 and 2. I think that would be a good idea. And how this would work is we would still do the whole futuristic thing that I had planned out in my earlier updates. We'd still do that idea. But what else I was thinking is that at the ending of Festival of Blood, when you come in, Zeke's talking to the chick, and you take her away, and Zeke gets all upset. And then the cutscene shows her turning around. This is the ending of Festival of Blood now. It shows her turning around, telling Zeke that his story about Cole was very interesting. I mean, obviously Festival of Blood was made up. It was a made-up story by Zeke to impress this chick. So she turns around at the ending, the very, very ending cutscene in Festival of Blood. She turns around and says, "Interesting story, Zeke. It was very educational." And then she shows him her fangs, and he's like, oh shit! That right there sets the stage for an obvious sequel. I mean, it's not. I'm not saying you have to make a sequel every time somebody hints towards one, but it sets the stage if you planned on ever making another game. I think this would be great. Since the story that Zeke told, which is Festival of Blood, is a fake story, you know, Bloody Mary, the vampires, all this stuff, since that was fake, to get this chick impressed, what if we just tweak this a little bit? We'll go with my same plan I had earlier. We're going to go futuristic, the First Sons are going to come back, all this stuff I was talking about in, I think it was Section 2. But we can mix it up a little bit. Let's throw vampires in the mix. And a lot of people, I know some people are definitely going to comment and say, no, don't do that, it would be totally gay, it would ruin the series, blah, 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 blah. Leave Festival of Blood alone, leave vampires out of it. Because I know a lot of people probably definitely do not want that in an infamous game that does continue the story of Cole McGrath. But if you really think about it, it's an option. It's an option. We could always put vampires into the storyline in the mix with the First Sons. They could be sort of like, let's see, how could I explain this? We're obviously going to have the First Sons, which was the secret society of Infamous 1. They were basically, you know, the paganistic ancient society that nobody believed existed, sort of like the Illuminati. Nobody believes they exist. God forbid, I hope I don't get killed for saying this. But just in simple terms, First Sons were the Illuminati of Infamous 1. That's as simple as I'm going to put it. Nobody believes they exist. Nobody thinks they're real. They're an ancient society. So the vampires could be somehow entangled with that. We could have, and I don't want to get religious with a lot of people, but we could have the vampires be sort of like the Satanistic occultic group that basically just always butts heads with the First Sons, along with the other futuristic groups. Of course, we're going to have multiple bosses. So the vampires could sort of be like the Reapers in Infamous 1. They could be like the one low standard group, the first little group that just screws around and causes you trouble. They're just a pain in the ass. Now that's not necessarily saying they're going to be the first group that you encounter in the game. They're just going to be the kind of like the troublemakers, like the Reapers were in the first Infamous. Then we're obviously going to have the First Sons. They're going to be tied into the game. They're going to be the whole electronic, you know, technology, all this advanced stuff. That they're going to hold the key that the government and everybody else wants to get their hands on. That is where our third power comes in, is world government. The First Sons are going to ultimately be wanting to take over the world. They're going to be wanting to run a one world system. It's their way or no way. And then the government is obviously going to be sided with the First Sons, but at the same time they're going to be opposing them because they want to appease the people of the world. So basically what's happening is that you have a governmental group. You're going to have 4 groups in Infamous 3, at least in my version. You're going to have the First Sons, which is going to be the advanced technology group that everybody else wants to get their hands on. Then we're going to have the vampires, which is going to be sort of like the troublemakers, the ones running around, causing havoc. They're not really a big deal, but at the same time they are, because you don't want them to get a hold of anything important, because they'll do some major damage with it out of their stupidity. And then we're going to have this government group that is performing inside jobs with the First Sons to appease the people, to make the people want more government, more of this and more of that. And then we're going to have sort of like a rebel group, And now, when I say rebel group, I mean nothing like what was in Infamous 2. I don't mean a bunch of hicks running around with t-shirts and rocket launchers and illegal guns that they got from across seas. I mean legit full on. I mean like this this stuff that was going on over in Libya. I mean some serious rebel activity. People running around. They do have a hold of some technology. They are raiding the First Sons and the government. They're going full on, full head. They're just totally against this. They're illegally getting technology. They're robbing stores, taking government to a whole nother level. They're not just walking around trying to make sure that everybody is safe and in their homes. They're going all out about it. They're doing anything they can to stop the government. You got to be evil to stop evil. That's basically the point of this. And then in the end of the game, obviously, as you progress, the government will turn on the First Sons to try and make the government look like the good guys. And then as soon as government, and this is in quotes, falls, when the government falls, the First Sons take control. The rebel group is beating them with a hammer, but they're not succeeding with anything. The vampires are just going around screwing everything up for everybody. So what you have is basically world war within a city, which the city is obviously still undecided, but you have world war within a city. You have the vampires fighting the First Sons, the vampires fighting you, the vampires fighting the government, all this different stuff. And yeah, I think that would make for a really, really good game.